should I focus on when reviewing a set of plans from a field management perspective? In this video, which covers the answer to a question given to us by one of our viewers and listeners, which I think is amazing, I'm going to cover the art form of how to dig into the drawings at the appropriate times, at the appropriate levels, so we don't overburden ourselves. I think you're going to absolutely love this content because as builders, if we got a stack of drawings this thick, we can't read and understand everything all at once. It's got to be phased, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so let's do this. I'm super excited about this. I remember working for a really great general superintendent, and I don't mind mentioning his name, Scott Berg at Hensel Phelps. When he was teaching me how to be a field engineer, he was like, Jason, early on, I need you to study the civil drawings, obviously for the perimeter of the foundation, and the structural drawings. Then when we were starting to get out of the ground, he was like, Jason, it's time to now start studying the architectural drawings, the MEP drawings. And I was like, okay. So he really understood the phasing of all this and how to take this elephant and eat it in bite-sized chunks. Not that I would want to eat an elephant, but anyway, you get my point. Bite-sized chunks. So let's go ahead and talk about the different types of plan reviews that you will do. Let me start out with the first one, early on. This one is key. When I have a set of design development drawings or early like 30%, 60% CDs, whatever it is, getting the drawings. Now I shamelessly print these out and spend some money. You don't have to do the same thing. Please don't judge me. But I'll go through and basically do like a strategic page flip, okay? And what I'm looking for in that page flip is I'm looking for long lead procurement, right? Anything that I need to order right now, major constructability items, things that would affect the way I plan the project, right? I'm looking for anything that I would have to, prepare early on in pre-con, right? So I'm literally like doing a high level page flip. So I'll go through each and every one of these. You'll see me like circling large areas, maybe making a note, right? And then these things become action items for the team. On a recent project that we're starting up at Lean Belt, I did the very same thing. Now here's the deal. Before you do this early on page flip, you're like, oh, what is it? What are the things? Do I have everything in the procurement log? Am I planning the right way? Once you do this initial page flip, your nerves will calm a little bit and you'll be like, okay, woo, we got the most important things done. That's the purpose of the early on page flip, is make sure that the team is heading in the right direction so we can do the strategic planning and enable the designers. The second one that I want to talk about, and this is the hardest one, is the detailed, right? You're going to want to go into the drawings, and this is where you actually read the general notes, you read the callouts over here to the right, you trace the details and understand what's going on, you understand a little bit more of the geometry. This is where you're going, I wouldn't say page flip, I would say page by page, okay? Now, if the project is too big, you're going to have to pare this down a little, really big, too big, I don't even know what that means, but like if it's really big, you're going to have to pare this down and do it phase by phase or segment by segment. But this is basically where you're doing a detailed review and you're trying to fill out your procurement log. Oh my gosh, this is such a good video. You're trying to fill out your risk and opportunity register. You're trying to fill out your testing and inspection register. You're trying to like make notes for the team. You're finding any hot items. You're looking for constructability, right? This is like really hard. If I'm joking around, which I don't know if I should do that on YouTube, but I usually kid with the team. I'm like, go get yourself a caffeinated beverage, some meth, like something. Like you got to find a way to time. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry, but like you got to find a way to time block your review. Drawing set by drawing set, and really get in there and like find the items. This is where you're probably going to do this in Bluebeam. or some other way to mark it up or actually print a set of plans, you're going to like dig in, you're going to have lots of comments per page, and everything is going to go somewhere. And one thing I want to mention right now is that you're probably going to dig into the specs as much as you possibly can at this phase as well. This is hard, but I don't expect you to know everything. I expect you to place everything. This is such a good video. Oh my gosh. So early on and then the detailed review. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3, this is what I call the trade review. What I mean by this is that we have a meeting scheduled, the pre-con meeting, or if you call it a preparatory meeting, that's fine. But basically we're all going to gather together and make sure we understand the work and we're preparing the trade partner, right? So whether this is in the buyout or your pre-mobilization meeting or your pre-con, whichever part of the trade partner preparation process you're in, you will want to just study the drawings for that trade, that specific scope. And what that will enable you to do is make sure you have bought out the entire scope, that you have asked for all the key things you need in the pre-mobilization meeting, and that you've gotten everything on your quality feature of work visual. So that's trade specific. And if you just go, I'm going to just list this as trade by trade. That's, I said eating the elephant one bite at a time. Trade by trade is one way to do that. So that's another key interface where we will do some research on the drawings. Another one, number 4, I'm going to call this the upcoming review. And this one is really nice. This is the one that I relied the most on. That's not great grammar, but when I was a superintendent, where basically like if you are, and you have to have some office time. Don't be fooled by somebody saying the superintendent should be in the field all the time. In fact, one of my buddies, Brent Elliott, he liked to be out in the field. He just got himself a plan table with an umbrella over the top so he could watch everything and read drawings. It was really cool. But upcoming review, when you're looking at your set of drawings or you're on your computer, right, doing whatever kind of research you want in whatever way, and you're following the 3 habits of a builder, which is to be in your plans, to be in your schedule, and then later on to do a field walk. What you're going to do is make sure that your plan review here is focused on from today to the next, I would probably say 3 weeks. You can do, here, let me do 3 to 6 weeks. I was only ever able to do 3 because I'm not that sharp, but 3, if you're really sharp, you can do 3 to 6 weeks. Read the portions of drawings that are going to happen here in the next 3 to 6 weeks. That's key, because then what you can do is when you read the drawings, you have that fresh on your mind for when you go out there and do your walks, and you literally have a nice perspective. You can interface the right way. You know everything's happening in the right manner. And here's the other thing. All this does is trigger the right things to happen. So when you're reading the plans, you can say, hey, do we have the material? Hey, trade partner, are you ready for the labor? Hey, did you order that piece of equipment, right? Hey, like everything you do here is to trigger action for something, and the action will be what's needed in the next 3 to 6 weeks. Number 5 is your daily review. And I already covered this a little bit right here, but you don't have to worry about like studying the drawings and having all of it, memorized, because what you're going to do is keep it fresh, and you're going to read those, you're going to study those drawings on a daily basis, and you're going to know what needs to be done as a builder and have this global perspective of what needs to happen on the project site. So I think that's fantastic. The bottom line is this is an art form. I would venture to say it's not really a science, but these are the 5 different ways that I like to dig into the drawings so you don't get overwhelmed, right? A little bit, and you have to have them at the right points, and then it doesn't overwhelm you. I'm going to turn this into a visual and a little bit of a blog post. And the other thing is, if you want more information on reading drawings, there's some really great content that we can link you to. And actually what we'll do is link you to the Superintendent Growth Board, or what we call the Superintendent Board, that has these references in this training on the actual board itself. And I think you're going to love it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.